Hey everybody, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Nate. I'm a naturalist, and this video is showcasing our 2018 Yellowstone summer camp. For those who aren't familiar with Yellowstone or the summer camp that Haya and myself have been running for the last 8 years, this video is going to shed some light on what we're trying to bring to the students and the family members who want to join us on next year's activities. We're showcasing this event. It's a big deal. Yellowstone, to me, is an American safari. And what I mean by that is, for anyone who's been to Africa or seen videos of an African safari, that Yellowstone offers many of the same qualities. We're going to be driving through untouched wilderness, seeing large animal species that we simply can't find anywhere else in North America. Granted, they are in pockets, but as far as in one specific place, Yellowstone offers up over 47 species of mammals, to put it simply. We're talking about bison, the largest bison herd in the world. We can see coyotes, deer, mule deer, moose, elk, pronghorn, black bears, grizzly bears, even wolves. Some are more likely than others. However, the chance for everyone in my class to see these animals is really good and really special. I've had people ask me, why is this trip a trip of a lifetime? There's a lot of reasons why. Yellowstone sits on top of a volcano, and not only a volcano, the largest volcano that we know of on the planet. Fortunately for us, it's not very active. It's active enough to keep the snow melt that's trickling around it nice and warm, to create these beautiful geysers and pools and mud pots and all these incredible geothermal hotspots that we're going to tour to. That's one reason why it's a trip of a lifetime. Also, you bring in the fact that you could see any number of wildlife species just driving around. And then also, we're going to have our own opportunities for fishing. And for me personally, fishing has been the reason why my heart beats to some degree. So we can get into that more in this video. I'm going to try and keep this video as brief as I can, and at the same time, I can't stress how excited I am to have this opportunity to share it with anyone who's going to participate. So let's talk about appropriate ages. When I designed this class, I designed it so that anyone who is relatively able-bodied could go with us on a 7-day trip, be challenged, and at the same time go to sleep every night with plenty of energy left over and plenty of energy for the next day. And what I mean by that is, let me get into the itinerary, and that'll help explain it better. Our class runs Monday through Sunday. We're going to do 5 days and 4 nights in Yellowstone. We're going to do essentially 2 days and 2 nights in Grand Teton. Monday through Friday we'll be in Yellowstone. We'll be stationed at the Yellowstone Wildlife Cabins, which is in West Yellowstone. It's a great spot to venture out into the park and see the numerous sights that we'll see. We're going to start our trip every morning at 9 a.m. We're going to leave our cabins. We'll go and see one of the major attractions there early in the morning. So for those of you who are familiar, we'll go see Grand Prismatic Spring early in the morning. We'll go to the Mammoth Pools early in the morning. We will go to Yellowstone Falls early in the morning. And then after that, we're going to go to several other places that I've been fortunate enough to even visit to. So we're going to go hiking to some lesser known spots. We'll go wildlife viewing up in Hayden Valley. We'll learn our trout fishing. We'll go picnic in these places that aren't as visited, so that we have a little more intimate chance in the park to have our own experience and not just the major attractions, which are a part of what's going to make this trip a trip of a lifetime. And at the same time, I've planned it so that we see those early in the morning, we get our real intense, real awesome experience in, and then we're going to go have our fun on our own as a group on these very specific, a little more exclusive adventures. And so that'll be Monday through Friday. We'll do that. We will have lunch in the park and then return to our cabins and have dinner shortly after 5 p.m. But the idea is that we leave at 9 and we return at 5. That way everyone can base their energy level and their expectations off of that. It's a great standard to keep when we're having a group of up to 20 kids, which is going to just be a blast. And at the same time, it needs to be somewhat structured so that we're just not running everybody thin and becoming exhausted after 2 days. I know what that can do. I've done it before. And so I think this is a great way to structure this once in a lifetime opportunity. So that's Monday through Friday. We'll be in Yellowstone. Saturday, we'll leave Yellowstone Friday afternoon. We will arrive in the Grand Teton National Park area Friday. At this point, I have some great cabins selected outside of the park and a little bit up into the national forest that surrounds it. That's going to give us an opportunity to kind of isolate ourselves. We'll be near a great trout stream, so if anyone wants to go and kind of have a one-on-one trout fishing experience after all of our other experiences in Yellowstone, we'll be able to do that on a much more intimate level in Grand Teton. We're also going to do some float trips, a float trip one day, and then on the Snake River. And then the next day we'll also hike to some waterfalls on the other side of Jenny Lake, and then take a ferry boat across. And that's in Grand Teton National Park. So I've got a lot of amazing things that I can't wait to show to our class. And basically every day we're just going to be doing something different. It's going to be something that we haven't seen before. And the things that we're going to learn, we'll learn as we go. And at the same time, we're going to get to learn about some of the natural history, talking about how Yellowstone's a super volcano, how there are more geysers in Yellowstone than anywhere else in the world, and how the fact that Yellowstone is the first national park is historically significant, and what that means to America as a whole, and where that's taken us. As far as the food aspect goes of our trip, I'm very fortunate that I have two very capable cooks who have offered their skills to prepare meals. I'm talking about breakfast, lunch, and dinner will be prepared. Of course, we'll be basing it off of the preferences of the group who's going with us. Any allergies or very specific items need to be spoken of beforehand. But I have two very capable culinary artists who will be joining us, and they'll be taking care of that. So we will be well fed while we're enjoying our trip. This will be in Yellowstone and then also in the Grand Teton area. So let's talk about the highlights of the trip. So Grand Prismatic Spring, I've already mentioned that. Old Faithful, we'll be seeing that. Mammoth Pool, we'll be seeing that. We'll drive around Yellowstone Lake. If there's any energy left, I'd like to lead a group up to Mount Washburn so we can see the entire park. We'll be fishing high altitude lakes for cutthroat trout. We'll be teaching fly fishing and lure fishing in one of the more serene canyons that is not well known, not many people visit. It's a great opportunity. We'll have a picnic there, and then I'll give one-on-one instructions, and then after that we'll be doing a larger group fishing exercise in the nearby Hayden Valley for Yellowstone cutthroat trout. We're going to have the opportunity to just see wildlife as we're driving through. I've been through the park on numerous occasions, and you really can't know what to expect. It could be a mother grizzly bear and 2 cubs on the side of the road in a meadow of wildflowers. It could be 2 moose trying to cross the Yellowstone River. You really don't know what to expect. It's just being ready and being open to whatever experience is going to present itself in the park. So let's talk about hiking. So this also has to do with ages. Again, I've geared this trip. I feel that 7 years of age and up is ideal. The reason being is that I feel we're going to be doing about 3 to 4 miles of hiking a day, and it's really important that we keep our energy, and we're also able, as each person is able to gauge where they're at. The last thing that I want to see is that I've got this puckered out hiker who's exhausted and just depleted of energy and wanting to go home. It's important that everyone going realizes that this is going to be a class, and this is going to be an adventure, and everyone needs to keep the right attitude or frame of mind in order to really take the full advantage of this experience. That's really what's going to, get the most of a quality experience to everyone going. Let's talk about what we're going to do if we see a bear. If we see a bear, we're going to remain calm. We're not going to run. We're going to stick together as a group. Fortunately for us, we're going to have the biggest group probably that the park has had, and at the same time, that's what's really going to make any encounter with any wildlife a really enjoyable one, is if we remain calm, we don't run, and we stick together as a group. If we can do that, we're going to be okay. And at the same time, myself and my fellow counselors will all have bear spray in the unlikely event, very unlikely event, that we do encounter an animal who is acting aggressively. So we'll be sure to stay safe out there. Last thing I'd like to talk about is my background and interests. I am a lifelong outdoor enthusiast and naturalist. I have 20 years of studying the macrobiology in the region of the western United States, specifically reptiles, amphibians, birds, fish, horticulture, what am I forgetting? Geology, hydrology, natural history, climate sciences, and a little bit of cultural history. I'm pretty good with that too. I breathe the outdoors, and it is what makes my heart pump. I want to share my passion with anyone who's open to receiving it, because it's for me it's the inspiration that I get every morning when I wake up. I wake up and I see this waterfall behind me, only it's in my mind, and I want to convey that to the world around me. And so it's so important that I create avenues for that, and that's why I'm so excited to be able to present my Yellowstone summer class to all of you who are watching this video. You've probably already met Haya, or if you haven't, then you need to. And by all means, please like and comment my video. You can subscribe to this channel, Wild Trout West. That's the channel that I use as my little blurb while we're out on our adventures when I can find time to do so. Again, yeah, if you have any questions, please contact me, and I can't wait to see you in the summer of 2018 on our Yellowstone Grand Teton summer camp. Thanks.